back to day 3 of identity shifting. Today I wanted to give you a little rainforest view back here so you can see what it looks like living kind of in the jungle in Costa Rica. I'm definitely out in the country, but that's the jungle behind me. It is absolutely gorgeous. And yes, I do get monkeys and I get a lot of toucans. Today is not about the rainforest. Today is all about identity shifting and rewriting your story. But how do we know what we want that story to be? And what was our old story? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. What stories have we been telling ourselves for so long about who we are? Like, remember I said I was the shy girl. I was the introvert. I'm still an introvert. Can't take that out of me, right? I still love being here in the rainforest and living, I don't know, in this beautiful country, just hanging out with the monkeys and the toucans, versus going to networking meetings, feeling like I have to be in a 3-piece suit to go show properties or showing up in a certain way. I'm getting to live life on my terms. I think the saddest part of this is it took me so many years to spot my old stories and to recreate my new story of that next chapter of life that I'm stepping into. So what do you want your story to look like? That's what we're talking about today on the Reinvent Everything Challenge. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Mindy. This is Unlocked and Unleashed After 50. Now, doesn't matter. You could be 30 watching this and you're just ready to step into that next chapter of your life. You could be 70 and ready to step into that next chapter of life. The key is you're ready to step into it and you're ready to do the mindset work that it takes to go from where you are right now, whatever you are not happy with in your life, to where you want to be, so that that next chapter is truly a chapter of adventure, fun, love, excitement, joy, whatever you want it to be. You get to write it. But we have to be willing to let go of our old self, our old identity, the stories that have tied us to that identity. Again, the story of me being too shy to do something like this, or maybe being too old. That was one of the stories that I had when I realized or heard I was supposed to be a life coach. Well, my life coach was in her 40s and she was 6 foot tall and she had perfect hair and makeup and skin. And I thought that's what I was supposed to look like. But you see, I don't wear a lot of makeup and I'm not very tall and my skin is far from perfect at the age of 56. So you can see I had all these stories that I was too old. I couldn't learn how to do the marketing that I needed to do. I didn't know what life was supposed to look like. I was never going to measure up to that standard that I thought I had to look like. What I didn't realize is that I could show up as me. And the me that I show up as attracts my tribe, my clientele to me. Whatever business you're in, that's how it works, whether it's real estate, marketing, life coaching, even a doctor. You know, I was attracted to my doctor because she was very holistic. She was in my healthcare system as well, which really helped. But I really liked her style. Like, if I needed antibiotics, she wasn't afraid to prescribe them, but it was not the first road that we went down. So she was just really amazing. I was attracted to her energy, her style of being a doctor. And so I stuck with her for years until I moved here to Costa Rica. So you see, everything is energy. But what story are we telling ourselves? Are we telling ourselves that, oh, I gained too much weight, I'm embarrassed to get on camera, I could never do something like this, I could never start a YouTube channel? And maybe that's not your path. What we're discovering is what is your path. So you go back to day 1 and you look at your values, you look at the things that excite you, you look at those things that you are passionate about. And maybe that's not helping people in this type of capacity, but what would that be? Because almost anything you do is actually helping other people. If you're marketing, if you're somebody who loves doing that, guess what? You're helping other people. I don't know how I would have survived being self-employed for the last 30 plus years if I didn't have an accountant. My accountant, my bookkeepers, they have been my saving grace for all these years, right? So what is your path? What do you love to do? What excites you? So then how do we identify these stories? We'll start to look at how you think of yourself. What labels have you put on yourself over the years? That includes being a parent, being a career person, working at a job. Maybe you're at a manufacturing job. Maybe you're at a restaurant job. That's okay. That doesn't mean that's what you have to do forever. I mean, my very first job became a waitress. And then after a waitress, I decided I would work my way through college, which I waitressed to work my way through college. And then I became the restaurant manager, right? So we can change. Then I moved to Florida and became a realtor with my 4-week degree. You never know where life is going to take you, but if you don't sit down and do this work, you can never get there. And at the age of 50, 60, and beyond, it's more important than ever that we look at all these limitations that we've put on our own life through the stories that we've made up about ourselves, through the identities that we've created around who we are, and we recreate ourselves newly. That's what this Reinventing Everything challenge is all about. So what I would love for you to do from this moment on in this challenge is every morning, I want you to take a journal out or a notebook and write, I am the type of woman who blank, blank, blank. And you fill that in and you just keep writing it over and over again. This is one of my identity shifting exercises that I use in my program that has the biggest impact on my clients. Rather than affirmations, which oftentimes feel like they're hollow or like we're lying to ourselves, we're creating this new identity. We're stepping into the energy. So you could say, I am the type of woman who makes $10,000 a month, or I am the type of woman who makes $100,000 a month. Both of these numbers have a frequency to them, but it's what you bring to it as you're writing it out. You'll know where you've crossed the threshold and it's like, oh, that's an uncomfortable number for me. And then you just back up. It could be, I am the woman who shows up confidently to meetings. I am the woman who is creating her life newly. I am the woman who takes my children on first class vacations. I am the woman who flies first class everywhere I go. I am the woman who shows up confidently. I am the woman who helps to transform lives. See how you can go on and on and on and just allow your pen to flow. The key to this exercise is to not write the same thing 100 times over. No, it's allowing your vision and your energy to flow. And what you're doing is you're setting your day up in that high frequency. So you're creating this new identity every single day. You're stepping into this new frequency every single day. When you're finished, take a couple minutes and imagine yourself 6 months from now, a year from now, or 3 years from now, living your best life. Time and money are not an issue. You can do what you want, when you want, with whoever you want. You can create this any way you want it to look. And just write that vision as if it's a snapshot in time in the future. So maybe you're on a yacht in the Caribbean or off the coast of France, or maybe you have a beautiful farm and you have your organic garden, or a community of tiny homes, whatever it is that you are dreaming of. It's a snapshot in time. And every morning, just take a couple minutes and write a new snapshot in time, because what we're doing is we're going to bring this together as if it's this puzzle, and we're bringing all the pieces together of what you would like your life to look like. You could be living that life sooner than you realize. Look at all the progress that you've made. We've went through our values. We've discovered or rediscovered the things that we're passionate about. We learned about neuroplasticity and how we are rewiring our brain so that we become a magnet to the opportunities. We're getting rid of those old identities. So you can recognize those old stories and those old identities, but you're rewiring your brain with, I am the type of woman, or I am the type of man who, ... You want to do this every day, because the only way to rewire the brain is either a sudden impact, which is typically not good. It could be an accident, a diagnosis, something like that, or through spaced repetition. So we're now taking on a morning journaling practice, and revisit your mood board, the board of your style, and look at that and make sure that it still fits this person that you're creating who's living that life that you've been dreaming of. So if you're new to this channel and you're new to this challenge, my name is Mindy. And this is the Reinventing Everything Challenge, where we are stepping into that next level